I'm Emma Curtin, host of a new true crime podcast called Murder Archives. It's set in Toorak in 1929 about the murder of Norma Reese McLeod. Search for Murder Archives where you're listening right now.
Now, last week you promised that you were going to play us.
I don't think it's appropriate.
You're on a Japanese toilet or something?
No, we were in Fiji, and there was a toilet. When they showed us the room, the guy showed. He goes, "There's a toilet in there. It's a Japanese one." We went, well, "What's that mean?" He goes, "You'll find out." So anyway, I'm sitting in.
Oh, there we go.
Going past.
We're in a pub, by the way.
Yeah,
it's not normal studio.
Because our studio's being built. So yeah. And but not being built.
Oh, no, they're doing something. They moved.
Yeah. Anyway, and then so I'm sitting in bed because we shared a room, as I told you,
Hilarious.
to save some money. And I just hear this laugh because he actually tried the. And you can buy them here, by the way. I saw
the Japanese toilets. Is it the one with the controls and stuff?
It had a control.
Yeah.
And I've lost it again.
If you go to your, it should just come up under your photos. If it was the last thing that you looked at, it doesn't come up.
No.
And so you filmed.
So what happened was he said it was really interesting what happened. So I said to him, "Okay, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to go in there. I'm not going to go to the toilet. That's not appropriate." I said, "But this will be my first time. Watch what happens when I."
So we can hear this now.
We can hear this now.
Just rest assured, I haven't. This is purely an experiment. I haven't actually done anything, so don't be upset by what. I'm just sitting here, sure, with no pants on. Bruce has had a squirt up the arse. He came out raving about it. I suggested that I go in and try it without having done anything. Now, whether it works or not, we're about to find out. I don't know which button to push. You're going to come in. Okay, here we go. I'm about to push this button here. Is that right?
This is a Japanese toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah, press the second one.
This one?
Yeah, hold it down. Here we go. Wait.
Just shooting water up your bum.
Well, the thing is,
I've never heard you laugh like that. That's like a real
the reason that you laugh so
primal
much,
laugh.
The reason that you laugh so much is because it, without getting too much into the details, I'll get into the details, is it hits you bullseye.
Yeah, they've designed it to.
How does it know what your bullseye is?
Oh,
but it hits you with warm water, and it's not like it's like a water pistol size. So it hits you right on the money.
And does it move around?
No, it just holds its aim and it goes. So the first time you feel it, it's very funny. I wouldn't say it's something I want to do regularly.
No,
but the next time I did it, I was astounded how it knew where my where my bullseye was.
Oh wow! Yeah, it's interesting because in Europe and Japan, cleaning your bottom with water is very common.
Is that not the bidet scenario?
The bidet, yeah. And remember when the Russian in Russia also they do it as well with water. And remember the Russian ballet player came in and he famously said, "I couldn't concentrate just thinking of those Westerners sitting with their dirty bottoms looking at me." Because it is probably a more effective way to clean your backside.
Oh, really?
Water.
Yeah, but you have a shower. And you do.
I know you have a shower, yeah, but
do you really? Are you?
There
really
could be 8 hours between you using the toilet and having a shower, so it's very immediate, isn't it?
I guess, but I don't know. I don't know. It depends on your diet, I suppose.
Yeah, well, yeah. Have you ever had colonic irrigation, or have you had an enema?
I've had the camera. I've never had an enema, but I've had the. Have you had an enema?
Yeah, I had to have a colonoscopy.
Yeah, but then you just drink the stuff and then.
Yeah, but I couldn't drink the stuff. I kept vomiting, and the woman said, "Don't worry, come to the clinic, and before your colonoscopy, we'll give you something else." Me thinking they've got another drink to give me, and I said, "Oh, well, I'm here at the clinic. What drink are you going to give me?" She goes, "Oh no, we're not giving you a drink."
We're
Just-
putting a hose up there.
Hose up your bum. And the nurse actually said, lie on your side and grip the wall. There was like bricks, and you could actually put your fingers in. Had to grip.
What? There was a special bit on the wall for gripping.
I don't think they'd made it like that, but it certainly was there.
But why do you grip? Because it's painful.
Oh, man, someone bloody puts a hose up your bum, and there's no anaesthetic.
But how far does it go up?
Not that far, but far enough. And then it shoots in hot water, and you're like, oh boy! And of course, it doesn't work immediately either. And she goes, "Go sit outside the toilet." And I said, "Well, I don't need to go to the toilet." She goes, "Oh, you will in a minute." And so you're sitting in a room with other old ladies in beds and people, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Oh, I've got to go to the toilet." And then you go to the toilet. But I suppose everyone's in the same.
So that does the whole lower.
It does enough for them to get the camera in and get the camera in and have a look. Yeah, for sure. Anyway, here comes the music.
Sorry, I'm really.
It's important to talk about those things.
Yeah, but it did.
Because bowel cancer, for example, is a very big disease in this country.
Yeah. So we're doing a community service.
We're doing community service, and when you get the thing in the mail when you're over 50, do it, because I'm surprised
I've done it.
how many people don't do it. Apparently,
because they don't want to. It's not pleasant to do it and then put it in your fridge.
Yeah,
but it's just a little stick.
But I think as Tony Martin said, he did a stand-up about how he's always wanted to send a bit of shit to the Prime Minister, and here's the opportunity: send some poo to the government. Off you go.
It's just when you see it in the fridge the next day, you go, don't put that on your body stuff. Don't put that. That's not a condiment.
It's quite disturbing.
It is,
but it's good to do. You got to do it, because if you get bowel cancer early, it can be cured. Well, not cured, but it can be controlled.
And then you mail away, and then you get the.
We're both doctors. I don't know if people know that, but we're both.
Yeah.
I specialise in bowel cancer. You're more.
I'm more.
What are you?
I'm bone
plastic
guy.
surgeon. Oh yeah, orthopedic. Orthopedic.
Yeah, orthopedic, because I like it.
Well, as one of the parents at school who's an orthopedic surgeon said, it's like being a carpenter, because you're just dealing with bones.
Yeah, bang.
Once you go to the stomach, the head, the abdomen, it's very complicated.
Yeah.
Here it comes.
Hello and welcome to Somehow Related, and now please welcome your hosts Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill.
And look, welcome to the podcast. Glenn Robbins is here. Somehow Related. We should say what it's called.
Yeah.
And how's it work, Glenn? How does this podcast work?
Well, should we say we said we're in a pub?
We're in a pub because the studio's being rebuilt or something.
And so it's a set of lights. So at least we haven't heard, which is the classic noise.
Yeah, or a siren. We haven't heard a siren yet.
No.
We've had a motorbike. We've had a hotted up car.
Yep.
We've heard all sorts. We've had a concrete truck. We're just waiting for that siren.
And we're over the road from the Fairfield Chiropractic Clinic.
Do a great job.
You ever
I've never been to a chiropractor. I've always been to physios.
Yeah, but I've been cracking my back lately. I've been loving it. I can cracking my back like this.
Well, you cracked it yourself?
Yeah. Oh, there it just went when I did it then. Did you hear it?
I hope the mic picked it up, but I couldn't hear it.
Like a little pop.
It's not actually cracking. It's actually, what is it again? It's like
a nitrogen, is it?
That's it.
Yeah, like a little bubble pop. It doesn't really mean anything, I don't think, but it just feels good.
It feels good. Should we get the topics?
Yes.
So we get two topics. Then they don't appear to be related, but then at the end it's revealed that they are somehow related.
Look, and as we've always said, don't bet, but like you could bet on one of us getting it. But you could have a gambling game at home.
Yeah.
And you could go, I'm going to go for Dave this week. I'm going to go for Glenn. And
you got it last week with the Mafia and Lemons. You got that one.
Yeah, I got that one.
Yeah.
But it could be a drinking game. Could be
a drinking game.
It could be a dare game. Could be anything you like. But it just adds a little bit of fun to it.
Yeah.
But don't look it up.
No.
Just have a crack yourself, because Sam is very reliable.
Yeah. She knows her stuff.
She knows her stuff.
All right. The topics this week are, Sam?
Jim Beam and I Dream of Jeannie.
Oh, I loved I Dream of Jeannie.
She's good.
Remember I Dream of Jeannie?
Do you reckon Sam looks a bit like
Barbara Eden? Was it Barbara Eden?
Barbara Eden, yeah.
Oh, my God. I love that, and I love Bewitched. I used to get them mixed up.
Well, they were the shows that gave you the premise in the song and in the opening credits.
Yes, like The Nanny.
Yeah.
You know the Nanny song?
Yeah.
She was working part-time in a da-da-da. Now she's the nanny.
Just in case you forgot.
Or Brady Bunch. Here's a story of a lovely lady.
Let's not sing the whole thing, but we could.
Who was bringing... Oh, I love the Brady Bunch.
Superman, looked up in the sky, there's a bird of the plane. It's Superman, strange visitor.
When did it change? When did the sitcom...
Petticoat Junction?
Petticoat Junction? The classic... gold there is in them hills.
Beverly
Hillbilly.
First thing you know, Roger's a millionaire.
Maybe all shows should. Maybe we should go back to that. So,
Well, it was all often high concept stuff. Like my favourite, Martian.
Yeah. Mr. Ed.
Yeah, and Jeannie was very high concept. Do you know the premise of Jeannie? I Dream of Jeannie?
Yeah. He's an astronaut, and he finds a bottle, and he rubs it, and the genie comes out, and then the genie sort of lives with him as a slave, kind of.
He landed on an island. I think he came back from space and crash landed on an island, found it.
Yeah.
And then...
And took her back. They fell in love.
Yeah. So the whole thing was acknowledgement, and there was a...
And it's a comment on slavery, modern day slavery.
Yeah, well, and quite sexist in its portrayal.
Yeah. Well, it was the 60s, wasn't it? It was 60s or 70s. It was late 60s, early 70s.
And there was Dr. Bellows.
He had his mate who
That
would
was
come
his
over.
mate, and there was a psychiatrist
Roger?
too.
Roger, was it? Yeah, the psychiatrist who thought he was going mad.
Yeah.
That's right.
And there was...
Maybe all sitcoms should have a little song these days introducing them. Like all TV shows.
Well, you did a pilot for a TV show.
Could have a song intro. Here's Dave, he's got kids, and he's a comedian.
He just can't get quite what he wants, but he keeps on trying to get famous.
He's struggling with life.
And he gets shingles. But he's doing all the work, and there's no fun for day.
Because it must have changed in the 70s when... Because Welcome Back Kotter sort of had a song, didn't it? That was a great song, Welcome Back.
Yeah. Welcome back.
Happy Days had a song, but it didn't sort of explain the
premise.
No, then you had shows like Roseanne.
Sunday, Monday, Happy Days. Tuesday, Wednesday.
But see, Roseanne, Seinfeld weren't explained. So it must have been the 70s, 80s.
Well, you're trying to work out the period when it changed.
I reckon 70s.
I reckon 70s.
Yeah.
What do you reckon Dream of Jeannie was? What period did it start?
No, that's 60s, late 60s, isn't it?
And I reckon it was probably in colour transition too.
Oh, yeah.
As in, it would have been in black and white, would have gone through the... What was Australia got at 74? 75?
Colour?
Yeah.
I remember Alan Johnston was the first kid at school to get it. We went around to his house to look at it, and his dad said, "Sit back, boys, sit back.
Don't get too close.
Go too close."
Yeah, I can't remember his name. We went into his house, and it was a Rankarina.
Oh, the Rankarina.
And it was in the corner, and he wouldn't turn on at first. We're looking at it going, that thing there can pump out colour. Because, I mean, same as now. I mean, that was the first thing you did when you went home. Watch an American sitcom.
Yes, definitely.
And to see it in colour. What was the first show you saw in colour? We're going this for our younger listeners.
Simon Townsend. And we also had Simon Townsend's Wonderworld for my generation.
Happy Days was mine.
Really? First show you saw in colour?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Good show to see in colour.
Potsy, Rough Mouth, Fonzie. I used to love those jokes about Fonzie. I think I've still done about how he was so cool. He was like a 30-year-old who lived above a garage and his office was a toilet.
Yeah.
I can't remember who first did those jokes. When you look back at Fonzie, he's not that cool. He's hanging around with a bunch of school kids. And he's 30.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. Someone does stand up about that. I can't remember. Someone used to stand up about it. I loved Happy Days. I was actually reading Robin Williams' biography. No, it's not a biography. Yeah, it's a biography.
There's a great documentary on Foxtel about.
Yeah, it's very similar to the book.
Yeah.
But also about how Mork was introduced to. Because the interesting thing about sitcoms is they react to things. The only reason they put Mork in, who was an alien played by Robin Williams, in Happy Days was because the director's kid said, "I don't want to watch your show anymore. I want to watch stuff with aliens and Star Wars," and because Star Wars was big, and so that's why they put an alien in Happy Days because of the Star Wars phenomenon. But I Dream of Jeannie and Bewitched. One of them started, and the other one started as a reaction to that one. Because this happened in the 60s with sitcoms, and it still happens now on TV. You get one dating show, then you get bloody...
Yeah, that's right.
3 dating shows.
Yeah, because we're all in the jungle, and someone finds a path out, and everyone runs down the same path thinking, this is the way out of here.
Yeah. And so, Star Trek started as a reaction to Lost in Space, or the other way around, I can't remember. I remember reading about it once.
But I like the fact that with a show like Happy Days, I think that's where Mork came from, wasn't it?
Mork was from Happy Days.
Yeah. And wasn't there a Martian in one of the shows somewhere? Well, they just throw like this left field thing.
Well, he was a Martian. A Martian in Happy Days. It was just bizarre.
Yeah.
So he just turned up and started talking to Richie.
Nowadays they wouldn't accept it. They go, "Oh, that's ridiculous."
Yeah.
But you're going, good jokes, good character. Will always triumph.
But you couldn't imagine, say, watching Friends and then the Martian turns up.
No.
Anyway, again,
we need more risk taking like that. Anyway,
Yeah.
So,
More Martians.
Yeah. But my dream of Jeannie, she was probably, along with the girls from Petticoat Junction,
And Bewitched.
Ginger from...
I love Gilligan's Island. I was more Mary Ann
Yeah, see, I reckon you can tell a lot about a personality.
by there.
Isn't that a standard question at a
Yeah,
party?
it used to be, are you Mary Ann or Ginger?
I would be Mary Ann.
Or Mrs. Howe. Or Gilligan.
Gilligan.
Or Skipper. Gilligan.
Well, Gilligan and Skipper were Laurel and Hardy.
Oh, they were great.
Yeah.
No,
He based his character on...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So funny. You know, Skipper eventually opened up a restaurant,
Oh, did he?
a revolving restaurant. He'd walk around in his hat and stuff. And
That's
I know, that's...
Yeah.
But for you, Russell Coit Outback
Uncle
Restaurant.
Arthur's restaurant.
I think Russell Coit.
I think Coit's
Coit's.
drive-through. We do a lot of meat.
With a hat and stuff. And kangaroo. You got kangaroo on the menu.
Yeah, have all the waitresses and the waiters wearing the outfit.
And look, you could just turn up at a specified time, like a little show for 20 minutes, get a few photos.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least they should have a line in the supermarkets of Russell Coit food.
Yeah, could happen.
Yeah.
Bush Tucker.
What was I going to say? So those women were because let's be honest, my younger years, there wasn't, if you wanted to look at,
There was no internet.
there was no internet.
Very hard to get a Playboy magazine.
Very hard. With National Geographic was
Yeah,
and say if you had fantasy.
Occasionally you'd find a Playboy magazine by the railway tracks under a bush or something.
Yeah,
That'd
my
be
brother
it.
had some under the house.
Yeah.
And it was a bit dark under there. You have to go under there with the torch. It was a whole...
So those women, especially like Jeannie was dressed in like a
I know.
halter, was it? It's got a bikini
Yeah.
top kind of.
Yeah.
She was gorgeous.
Are Jeannie jokes the standard issue, isn't it? Did you hear about the guy who rubbed Jeannie?
Oh, Brother Jeannie, yeah.
3 wishes and I want to...
I love those jokes. I can't
Yeah.
remember any of them.
Either can I.
There's the Irishman, the Australian, and the blah blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I want a 12-inch penis or something.
Yeah, and then something happens.
Yeah. And
With
then
comedians,
it-
we should
yeah.
remember. I don't remember the Jeannie
I
joke.
think the classic is whatever you get, your wife gets double.
Oh, right.
And then he says, in my third wish, I want you to half kill me or something. And it's kind of like, so, yeah. Anyway, so...
I Dream of Jeannie.
I Dream of Jeannie.
And Jim Beam.
Jim Beam would be... Would it not be... Because you remember when you first started drinking, not that I drink a lot, you had your drink.
Yeah,
Like, what do you
What
have?
was your drink?
My drink, I guess it was a pot.
Just a pot of beer.
I think so.
I used to like avocado lemonade. You couldn't get more of a just want to drink a milkshake, but I'll have because it was so sweet, avocado and lemonade. Oh, it's beautiful.
Because back in the day...
Big fan of tequila sunrises too.
What are they?
Oh, that's just tequila with orange juice and a raspberry kind of
You can
thing.
feel it coming back up.
Yeah, yum though. Nice. Yeah, because back in the day when you got to 18, 19 or even younger, you were encouraged by your mates to try different spirits and stuff like that. And so...
But your Jim Beam and Coke was kind of like...
I like Jim Beam and
yeah,
Coke.
because it had that rebellious,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit bogan though.
Oh,
Jim Beam.
very.
Wasn't that the one that Jimmy Barnes used to drink? A bottle a night, a Jim Beam a night?
Yeah, and it came in a can. I mean, you could get it in a can with
Jim
a can
Beam
of
and
Coke already in it.
Yeah.
Jim Beam. And so it had that bikey tough guy image.
Exactly. Barnesy.
Yet it was sugary. And what percentage alcohol would it be? About 35%?
It's quite high.
I mean, it packed a wallet. Was it the Coke that was... I just remember thinking, wow, that's got a lot of sugar in it.
Yeah.
Could a drink like Jim Beam have a lot of sugar? I suppose it could.
Well, I've seen guys at the bar here go, can I get a Jim Beam and Diet Coke? I get spirits with Diet Coke.
Double Jim Beam or something. Because I know that on the occasion when I've had it, you go, wow, that's a kicker.
I don't mind whiskey. I don't drink much, but
So that's a
when I drink
bourbon.
it-
What's the difference between bourbon and whiskey?
No, I thought they were the same.
Jack Daniels is whiskey. I think Jim Beam is a Kentucky bourbon.
Yeah.
And I think Jack Daniels is a Tennessee. Oh, there you go. Tennessee whiskey.
All right. And you can get, you know, they used to do all these ads at the Jim Beam factory, and there'd be old boys sitting on a porch with barrels and stuff.
Yeah.
And I know, I got Ted Emery, the director, who you know very well.
Yeah.
He went to the Jim Beam factory, and he said it was just a billowing smoke, massive operation. There's no good old boys sitting on porches or anything. Just in an industrial area of the South, a huge factory.
Is it Jim Beam? Jim Beam? Jim B-E-A-M?
It's with an M, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's with an M.
And that's going back, what period do you reckon that'd be?
Oh,
1800s?
I reckon Civil War
Before
time.
what was Prohibition?
That was like the 20s.
So it would have gone through Prohibition.
Was it 20s? I don't know.
Yeah, it was the 20s. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's gone through a period where it was legal, then it went illegal, and it's survived on. God, what's the relation?
But see, what's it got to do with I Dream of Jeannie?
Here goes another
Yeah, cement truck.
cement truck. That was the.
Yeah, it was from our past episode with the mafia controlling the cement.
So,
Well, do we need thinking music?
what would you go for?
I think
Bit
it's
of-
just a
bit
bit of
of
I Dream.
banjo?
What about the opening of I Dream of Jeannie?
Oh, could we?
Yeah, the opening.
Now,
Do they have a song?
did they have a song, and two, were there lyrics that told you the premise? Here's
Oh.
a story.
Of a lovely lady
Who
who
was living in a bottle by herself. Then she got found by
Astronaut.
an astronaut who brought her in to help him out.
who brought her into good health.
Oh, gee.
Oh, we could write songs.
Take the rest of the day off.
I don't know why we're doing this.
Yeah.
Hey, we're like McCartney and Lennon. All right, let's hear a bit of I Dream of Jeannie. Opening titles. They didn't have the lyrics.
A samba or a rumba or
Sort of like a
bossa nova. And that was when I reckon they would employ a full orchestra
to do that.
to do the theme.
Yeah.
Sounded great. Shot in colour. Probably on film. It would have been definitely on film.
Film, yeah.
Well,
there you go.
And it was, and that, you know, something else I realised. It used to be animated. They did a cartoon version of I Dream of Jeannie.
Oh, did they?
Yes. Yep.
Bit of I Dream of Jeannie.
I Dream of Jeannie.
Love
Okay.
it.
I've had something that we didn't talk about that I reckon was quite obvious was that Jim Beam comes in a bottle.
Yeah.
I Dream of Jeannie comes in a bottle. So there's something that links them like that. Could they have based the Jeannie bottle? Could Jim Beam have done something in relation to I Dream of Jeannie?
What, like a Christmas promo? Get drink the Jeannie.
Yeah.
Drink the Jeannie from.
Drink this like a Jeannie in a bottle, and then everyone's
It's a
having
good tagline for an alcohol company, isn't it? This is your Jeannie in a bottle.
Yeah.
You know, this is going to give you lots of fun and a hangover and
Give it a rub. See what happens.
depression and whatever.
Yeah. What's that great stand-up joke where the guy standing on stage has got a bottle in his hand, and he goes, "This cost me my wife, my family, my house, my kids. But hey, I'm going to give it another chance. Give it one more chance."
My favourite joke was one of yours when you used to walk on stage with bottled water and go, "Well, I got this stuff at home on tap.
yeah,
I don't even shower and I even ween it." Eh?
Put it in my toilet.
Yeah. It's a great joke. I wonder if that joke would still work because you started doing that joke when bottled water was introduced.
Yeah.
I reckon. I mean, seeing you do that at the Star and the Garter in the 90s.
No. Really?
Yeah. Remember when you sort of had a bit of a stand-up resurgence when you were doing Jamone and stuff?
Yeah.
The
I
Jamone
sort of
show.
go through periods where I'm not doing it at the moment, but
Mate, you're like the Rolling Stones. You know, you lay low, then you come back.
yeah. But
Is
I'm
that
not.
a
I'm not
good
in.
analogy?
I'm not in the league of you guys who are just.
You don't have to be. What? Hacks.
Did you watch
Working
that-
comedians.
Did you watch that SBS documentary on a few weeks ago?
Yeah, that comedy was great.
What was it called? Dying Young or something?
Dying laughing, I think.
Dying Laughing.
Yeah, it must
Was
be
that,
on.
but that must have been really old because
Yeah, 'cause
Victoria
Gary
Wood was in that.
Gary Shandling was in it, who's
Shandling
dead.
and Victoria Wood was dead.
And another, Cedric the Entertainer, who's also dead. I'm sure he's dead.
They would have been like 3, 4, 5. Victoria Wood, I reckon, would died 3 or 4 years, 5 years ago.
Oh,
Maybe.
you know what? It was a great documentary, though.
I was looking at that, thinking, should I save this and give it today? But you obviously already watched it.
I watched
but did
it.
you learn anything you didn't already know?
Not really.
But you just loved hearing that there was failure in that. You loved hearing that they had bad nights. You loved hearing that
You
they
love
were
the
booed off
reaction.
stage.
You know what annoyed me? The American comics are so. Oh, this is the most ultimate thing ever. You know,
know.
and all that. You're like,
Yeah.
mate, it's good, but it's not.
There's a thing, there's a martyrish sort of thing that we are doing. We are the smartest voice in the room, and
yeah. But as Kieran kept yelling out, who was in another room, but she could hear it. Get over yourself. Get over yourself. And it's so true. These Americans are talking about like doing a bad gig, like they've been shot in a war. But the best, the best one, who often is the best, is Jerry Seinfeld.
Well, I must admit, I hope Jerry's not listening, but I hope he is listening. Hello, Jerry.
Big fan.
Big fan. Well, I've met him.
I know you met him, but you weren't allowed to talk to him.
He's
met you.
He's met me.
Did he have like a handler?
He did, yeah. Hey, no jokes. And then no bits. Just bring Jerry up. Just see. And I said, well, why don't you do it? He goes, I do it every night. I said, why don't you do it? And he goes, well, I'm paying you, buddy. And I wasn't being paid. Anyway, it's a long story. I'll write a book about it one day. I find Seinfeld probably more insightful than I do funny.
Yeah. Well,
is that a lot of people?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I find him very insightful. He says a lot of stuff. I go, I wish I'd said that. But I don't find his stuff as funny. I don't find that there's a vulnerability to it.
No.
I find that there's an observation.
Well, it's a construct, isn't it? He's sort of... Anyway. Yeah, but compared to someone like Louis C.K. masturbating in doorways, he showed a big vulnerability. You know what I mean?
Well, it was an honesty to it, rather than looking... Yeah. A sense of looking down. I don't know why I say that, but...
Or even if you look at extreme examples like, Kitty Flanagan or Denise Scott, there's incredible honesty with what in their stand-up, in a way.
Well, you feel like you're connecting with them,
yeah.
Whereas he's making Seinfeld makes a very smart, but in some ways not necessarily...
Look, we've got a list of comedians. Let's go through them. Here we go. Yeah. All right.
But look, I'm a huge Seinfeld fan.
He was the one, he said just right at the start of the documentary, people think comedy is easy. They look at it and they go, it's easy. Because I always say, doing stand-up's like water skiing. It looks easy, but it's not. And he goes, and then you get up there and you are so alone and there's all these people just staring at you.
Yeah. Well, the great thing is when you have that funny idea in the car on the way there, and then you get up there and under the blaring light and the silence of the crowd, you suddenly... you just get catapulted into nothingness because you just go, what was I thinking?
Oh, yeah.
What was I thinking that was somehow funny?
I did some new jokes here last night because this is where I do the comedy night. And I'll try to think of one of the new ones I did. I saw a guy down the street, a middle-aged guy, busking with a recorder.
A recorder as in one
you played at school. Yeah. And I said, if he plays Ferro Jacques, I'm going to take money out of the hat.
See? Bang.
Classic.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's any good, that joke.
It is a good joke. That's
not bad. Anyway,
so...
what's your theory?
So it's Jim Beam and I Dream of Jeannie, the television show. How are they related? I'm going to say bottle, and I'm going to say something about the bottle that Jim Beam used was based on a bottle that they saw on the TV show, because she was in a bottle with cane around the bottom or something, wasn't there?
It was like a very elaborate-looking bottle, like a genie bottle you'd imagine. Quite tall, though.
Yeah, I mean, can't imagine that there's some. I can't imagine it being a Jim Beam bottle.
It didn't look like the one that Jimmy Barnes used to hold on stage.
No.
Look at this! I've been doing Jimmy imitations because we watched the grand final, the AFL grand final, and he did the halftime entertainment. My daughter was like very amused, but because she doesn't know who Jimmy Barnes is, right? She's 12.
Yeah, of course.
And she goes, who's this old guy, Dad? Oh, well, that's Jimmy Barnes. He was in Cold Chisel, one of the greatest Australian rock bands. She goes, he looks really unwell. I'm like, he's just old, But in between songs, I reckon he was a bit nervous, so he'd sing Flame Trees, or then he'd just go like this, have a great day, have a great afternoon.
Sounds a bit like Husey.
Yeah. Have a great day, have a great afternoon. Then go back into his next song. So I've been saying that around the house. Have a great day.
What do you reckon?
I reckon Jim Beam. Either created or sponsored the show.
I
don't know.
It's a bit like the Steiner School.
Steiner Schools and cigarettes.
Yeah, because just to explain that, the Steiners wouldn't exist without cigarettes.
Without a cigarette company,
so
finance first school.
That an alcoholic company, which is, show for the
kids.
It
could have something to do with the bottle. Maybe they launched they had a vision of, we're going to launch a range of bottles and call them, and the genie is in a... This is your genie.
Jim Jeannie.
Barnesy, this is your genie. All right, well, let's get the answer from young Sam.
The bottle that Jeannie originally lived in was a 1964 Christmas edition decanter sold by Jim Beam. Jean Nelson, the original director of I Dream of Jeannie, was walking past a liquor store and saw the decanter in the window. The original bottle was recently sold at auction for $34,375. The show's prop department peeled off the labels from the glass and decorated it with paint.
So we were on the
You were right.
track. On the right track.
You were right.
Yeah. Well, no, I sort of had a bet both ways on that, really. It had to be the bottle, but I don't know who came first.
You did pretty well. I was way off the beam, but...
Off the beam.
Off the beam.
Off the beam.
Oh, well, there you go.
Well, and as we said, if you did bet on it, I hope you did well. But apparently you can bet on this show. I've had a look on the sports. You can bet on, and you're the one. Your odds are very short.
You've had 2 in a row. You've had 2 wins in a row.
Yeah, but they know that you're the smartest guy in the room.
No, I'm not the smartest guy. I know a lot of rubbish. I know a lot of trivia.
Well, I wouldn't say it's trivia.
It's useless information.
I don't know anything about anything.
You know stuff about stuff. You know something about something. Well, that's somehow related.
Somehow related. And, if you've got an idea, if you've got something that's related that is surprising, by all means. We've asked once before. No one said anything in it, I don't think.
No. But also, if you want any more information, check the show notes too.
And listen to the debrief. Are you still recording
still doing, yeah. There's one up at the moment of Judith Lucy, and there's Luke McGregor.
Fabulous episode.
And Oaksy, Brad Oaks, who I've done at least 3 or 4 times, but he's a regular.
Yeah, and everyone, you have a lot of legends on that show.
A lot of legends.
Yeah.
You have to come on.
Yeah, I would love to come on.
Come on.
Yeah, but we've got to be finishing something or halfway to doing something. Because I like that when you start the show, then you go and do the gig.
Yeah.
And then you come back and talk about the show.
Yeah, how it went.
It's a true journey. It's a bit like that documentary, Dying Laughing.
It's a journey.
It's the pain that you go through.
It's like an Australia's Got Talent contestant. It's a journey. We're all on a journey. We're all on a journey.
Yeah, okay. I'm just trying to think of something funny so we can end on a laugh.
You have been listening to Somehow Related with Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill.
I just flew back from Fiji, and my friend didn't know I did a podcast, so he put it on his and he had him on the plane, and he fell asleep. But he listening to the podcast, but he fell asleep with a smile on his face.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and then he woke up and said that was really good. And I think, I don't know about that. I think you...
Look, you get a bit of feedback about this podcast. People are listening. People are definitely listening. You know the guy at Nova loves it.
Yeah, say hello to him. Okay, next time we tune in, next time we'll be
back in the studio, hopefully. Because we're sitting in a pub at the moment.
And it's quiet and...
it's very quiet.
And you know what's good about this pub? It doesn't smell like a pub.
No. This used to be the main bar, actually. Where we're sitting used to be the full-on main bar. And back in the 70s, this would be full of tradies right now and factory workers.
Did any famous shootings happen here or anything? Was it like,
I don't know.
Unions or anything?
Yeah, there was a bit of that action, but I think it was just like a working man's pub for a long time, the Grandview. But maybe because it was called the Grandview, and there's a great photo up here of a very old car and in front of the actual Grandview.
Yes.
It's an incredible photo. So the Grandview could have possibly been a sort of a resort hotel. You know what I mean? Because it was by the Yarra. It's near the Yarra. It's a long way from the Yarra. It'd be not a K, but... So maybe it was one of those places like the Espy in St Kilda or those hotels in Bondi where people came for a bit of a break from the city or something. I don't know. Because there's a lot of rooms upstairs. So maybe that's it.
Lord of the Manor could have lived here or something.
Yeah, that's right. It could have been like a Lord of the Manor.
Anyway.
What's any ghosts in here?
I don't say that.
You scared of ghosts? You ever seen a ghost?
No. And probably will now.
You ever felt a presence?
A presence.
Have you felt a presence?
Well, I was in Fiji.
Was in sharing a room with a bloke. You look over, the single bed's empty. I'm feeling a presence. Oh, boy.
And we listed the business in May of 2016.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Max Cunningham. I'm the General Manager of Listings and Issuer Services, and it's my great pleasure to welcome you all here today for the listing ceremony for Redbubble. Redbubble is a fast-growing online marketplace with a global community of artists, designers and customers. You've demonstrated such a business is very attractive to investors, and it's particularly exciting for the ASX.
This was the MD report from December 2008. Redbubble continues to experience scaling challenges in accounting, customer service, community management, hosting and fraud control. These scaling challenges have significantly curtailed our ability to invest in marketing or sales-related activities.
It's a logistical nightmare. I, for a period of time, was the mail distribution for Europe.
You know, I thought, oh my God, what's going to happen if I can't retrieve all this information?
Is that it? Is that Redbubble? It's like, yep, one rack. That's the entire world that I've sort of been living in.
You know, the moment you told them you're doing some work for Redbubble, the phone would get slammed in your face. So you don't have ready access as you might have in some other industries where you can ring competitors and talk to them.
The first Christmases, everybody did customer service, including Martin.
And then they'd frame it and put it up on the wall. I'm an artist. They wouldn't actually even cash the things. So we had all these uncashed checks.
Scale Up Season 2 from Launch Vic is almost here, and it's all about Redbubble. ASX-listed on-demand products, 3-sided global marketplace, founded and headquartered right here in Melbourne. If you haven't heard the first series on Culture Amp, check it out now while we finesse the coming season. Redbubble is a huge story, and we're jamming in as much as we can over the 8 episodes, but there might be a bonus 1 or 2 with all the interviews we've done.
Martin drew this diagram where he drew a little white circle in the middle, and he said that's the art, and then a big pale blue circle on the outside, which was massive, and he said that's the community. And I didn't quite get it at the start, but he was right. The art builds the community, and then all of a sudden it became a massive community of artists.
Most recently I was like, oh, so what's changed? What's the difference? It's like nothing's changed. They just get it now.
I noticed that you have updated your LinkedIn profile.
Yes, I have.
What does it say?
It says CEO designate.
If you're a startup founder or thinking about a startup in Victoria, maybe investing in a Victorian startup, find great information about the landscape from launchvic.org. There are links in the show notes too, so check those out. Subscribe to Scale Up on your favourite podcast app and expect episode 1 of season 2 about Redbubble very soon.
Now, Redbubble has the capabilities to do an enormous number of things, but our choice about what we do is not defined by what we can do, but by what we should do.